Hello, everybody. My name is Gary Fowler, and I am the host of the Founders Report on Token VCTV. I'm a serial entrepreneur and investor. I've done 17 startups. I've been involved in several unicorns. I was on the original management team of Click Software, which was sold to Salesforce for 1.35 billion, and also yva.ai, which was sold about 7 weeks ago now. Seems like yesterday. We believe that intellectual capacity is evenly spread around the world, but opportunities are not. So today I have an incredible guest, the co-founder and CEO of Spendwiser Doha, Safarudin, who's also been attended our accelerator, our hyper accelerator, GST Labs, Get Shit Done Labs. He's a tech entrepreneur focusing on re-engineering the entire retail industry in MENA. He's innovative. He's an entrepreneur. He's a fintech enthusiast. It's the first time I've ever heard that. Recognized for e-commerce and fintech thought leadership. He's a professional with over 15 years worth of experience in the ICT and fintech marketplace. He's done several exits, several startups. Skip Cash, where he was the co-founder and CEO. Gadira.com, which was an e-commerce wholesale market company in Dubai. And the Hanger Project, business to consumer direct marketing, also in Dubai. And he just told me it's 50 degrees Celsius there. So it's really hot. So we want to talk a little bit about, where you're coming from and some of the things you've done. I know you went to Indira Gandhi National Open University. So you're originally from India? Is that where you're from?
Yeah, exactly. So thanks, Gary. Thanks for having me for the session. Yes, I'm originally from India, but I'm born and brought up in Dubai. I've been in Dubai from my childhood. I did my schooling in Dubai and then went back to India for engineering. So after engineering, came back to Dubai and started my career in 2000 onto the ICT fields. So started in one of the biggest system integrators, which is Jumbo Electronics. Then moved on to another one of the huge system integrator, which is called MS Computers, where they're focused on big banking projects as well as the data center projects. That's how I got exposure into fintech. So if you look at this region, especially the Middle East and GCC, it's almost in 2014, 15, the fintech revolution took place in Dubai. So it's like, very long time they had this revolution. And Dubai and UAE is right now placed as a fintech hub because they had the regulation in place, the revolution took place, and a lot of business model came in. So I was part of the revolution, and I was part of a couple of fintech startups as well. That gave me.
Yeah. I got a question for you. I'm going to talk about you for a minute. So tell me a little bit about it. So you're over. What drives you in Dubai? You hear Dubai. I mean, it's like every day somebody's talking about Dubai. What is it about Dubai? I mean, you just told me it's 50 degrees Celsius, so you can't really walk around outside. But what is it about Dubai? What's this magical piece about Dubai? Why so many people interested in Dubai?
Yeah, exactly. So there's two aspects. There is Dubai, and I'm in right now in Qatar, Doha. So it's two different countries, right? So, but it's part of GCC. The Saudi, Dubai, and Qatar is part of GCC. So I was in Dubai, then I moved on to Qatar in 2018, 19. That's the time I moved to Qatar. So Dubai is A, one of the financial hub, B, one of the tourist hub. They're basically building a huge infrastructure, and it's a huge hub for the real estate as well. So if you look at the property wise, if you can find probably a very expensive property in London, but the same property you can find it very cheap in Dubai with that luxury level. Because if you really look at it,
why is that anyhow? Why is the property values less? Who supports it? Supported by petrodollars, or why is
it's the cost of building an infrastructure. So if you look at in Dubai, you can actually get very cheap labor from Bangladesh and other things, and then you can basically build a beautiful infrastructure, beautiful building with very, very less cost than any other place in the world. So that's why for the investors.
Okay, so tell me about Doha. So you're in Qatar. So what's the magic of Doha, and why Qatar?
So Qatar is in the phase of a transformation, and it's a huge development is happening in Qatar because they're going to host FIFA World Cup. And based on that, the government want to do a complete transformation, and to a metropolitan, a huge city over here. So they're spending almost 200, $300 billion to build infrastructure, to build an
$1 billion with a B.
yeah.
Well, they got some
Almost,
serious money then, don't they?
yeah, definitely, and they're doing it really well. Now, Qatar is one of the the high-tech cities. You have Lusail, which is a completely new city with the recent solar panels and all that kind of things. So you talk about everything. So Qatar want to take that momentum of the World Cup and build an entire infrastructure city over here. And the opportunity is huge. So once your city is coming up, a country is coming up to a new level, you get a lot of opportunities. An opportunity in terms of fintech, the opportunity in terms of digitization, the opportunity in terms of real estate. It's humongous in Qatar at the state,
So
especially.
so a
Yeah,
question for you. I want to talk about something more on a personal note. What do you
okay.
do for fun when it's 50 degrees out? When seriously, like, I mean, you can't be going out and taking a dune buggy or a four wheeler, right? It's too hot. You'll melt the tires. What do you do
Do you know any other place where you have the parks completely air conditioned, or the shopping mall inside and outside fully air conditioned?
inside and outside, both air conditioned?
Yes,
Wait a
yes,
minute.
yes.
Outside shopping mall that's air conditioned?
Outside shopping mall is air conditioned. Inside park, the park where you walk, it is air conditioned. You have an area fully air conditioned where you can walk inside the park. If you go out of the mall, walking area, looking at the shops, it is fully air conditioned. So they had well taken care of that
Oh my
situation.
gosh! And so, what do people do? Like on a day, like an off day? Do they just hang around the mall and walk around? And it's
Yeah,
like,
I mean, yeah, it's not that huge kind of, you have like natural beauties and stuff like that. You have one side the desert, then one side is the huge metropolitan city, right? So one of the destination is definitely shopping malls. You have huge luxurious shopping mall in numbers of 10 to 15 big shopping malls. And recently, a one-ton palace, this is a huge palace, has been opened up. Then the movies, the theaters, and other stuff. So these are definitely the destination people,
now I got
so,
another question for you. The one thing I think about, so I think about oil and gas, right, in the region,
mhm.
but I
Okay.
think about incredibly wealthy people that have the most amazing cars I've ever seen. Is that
Okay.
true?
True. Yeah. I mean, yes, the wealth is good. The GDP and per capita, that's huge in Qatar. Especially the population is very less. If you look at the total population is almost 2.5 million, but the Qatari population is almost 200, 300,000. So yeah, the wealth is being distributed. It's really well, and they do invest outside Qatar. If you look at in London, most of the well-known brands and properties owned by Qatari investors.
Wow, amazing. And so, what's a house cost? So, if you go to Qatar and you want to get a three-bedroom house or flat, uh, what does it cost?
I can tell you, just let me do a calculation in dollars. So it's going to be like 4 to 5 thousand a month. If it is in a post location,
Yeah.
uh, like we have Lucille's and other places, it's going to be like $4 to 5 thousand a month. When you come down to other areas, as not a posh but a good areas, it could be like $2 to 3 thousand per
And how much does a place like that cost to buy?
month. Almost 300 to 400 thousand dollars a one bedroom apartment if you want to buy it.
One bedrooms, 300 to 400,000.
Yeah. More than that, just almost a billion. If it is 3 and 4, you're talking about $1 billion plus.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay, super. So, and everybody has a nice car. Do you drive a Ferrari?
I'm just waiting because of the World Cup, a lot of construction happening. New roads are coming in every day. So I'm just waiting so that I'm just used to Uber now. Wherever I go, I use Uber. Very convenient. You get a car and a driver at any time you want. So I'm just avoiding cars right
Oh, wow, that's amazing. And
now.
so, incredible. Okay, let's go back through. So, you're there, and there seems to be a lot of investment into the infrastructure, a lot of investment to bring companies. What are they doing to make it exciting for companies to come to Qatar, companies to come to Dubai? What do they do? Like, how do they entice them to come over? What are they giving them?
So one of the programs, there are two programs. There's one program run by the government, which is called Qatar Invest Program, and they do a lot of incentivized program. For example, if you want to basically set up an office, they can give you a full luxurious office completely free of rent for 2 to 3 years. Plus, they're ready to cover the cost of the salaries of your employees as well. Let's say if you have 100, 200, or 300 employees, and you're basically coming from US or London, and you want to set up the business in Qatar, through them, they actually even can cover the cost of the employee salaries for 2 to 3 years. So, and QFC has a lot of programs. Even they can,
That's amazing. So they'll cover the full cost of the employee salaries.
exactly, exactly. So they have a lot of programs to attract. And the best thing is like Qatar is like a hub. So you set up your business here, then you have access to $1 billion market nearby, right? So even flight time and everything is amazing is to access. So I mean, a lot of companies, well-known companies like Microsoft, everything. Microsoft recently, like 1 week back, they just opened a huge office in Qatar. Microsoft data center is coming into Qatar. Google has planned to open the data center in Qatar. So they are doing a well job in attracting, and it's a huge nice. So if you look Dubai, it's kind of a crowded right now, but then the next option is definitely Qatar. The lifestyle and all the facilities they provide is really amazing, and the government support, if you really want to come and start, is really really good. And the business opportunities humongous. Looking at the World Cup opportunity as well, and the surrounding market, Qatar is a beautiful hub you can actually start at.
Not so, but what do people do for fun? So, let's say you have your day off. What do you do for fun? I mean, you can't always go in the mall. What do you do?
Yeah, there are leisure parks here, and there are entertainment zones, and then nightlife. Definitely, you have all the nightlifes here, and yeah, they're building a lot of things for the fun as well. Exactly, golf. It's there, and
I mean, how can you play golf? It's at 50 degrees. That's real. You
but
know,
I mean, this is only on the summer, like 3 to 4 months, and after that you have beautiful winter time where it's like 18, 19 to 15 degrees Celsius. So probably 4 to 5 months, and like June, July, August, this is where you get 50. Otherwise, it's like 20, 25, 30, and then you have 6 months where it's a winter. So yeah, 2 to 3 months, yes, definitely. That's a summer vacation, so people just fly out.
yeah, no, I got it. I mean, if you have that much money and all these petrodollars and everything, I mean, it's a great move that they're bringing people in. I mean, that's an incredible move. So, tell us a little bit about so your journey. You've gone down through. You were Jumbo Electronics, Hamden, Emirates Computers. They went to Cisco Networking Academy. That you moved into, Hanger, then Gadir. What drives you? What makes you want to start companies?
It's the belief that I'm an entrepreneur, and definitely the opportunity is always like when you are on that mindset, you see a lot of opportunity in front of you, and you have that confidence to take on, right? So being in a career and doing a lot of being a performer in the career, I knew my ability to solve problems. I knew my ability to think different and be innovative. So I've been very successful in the career side. And this drive and the belief that being an entrepreneur and the opportunities you see all the time in front of you has driven me to take on that ride. It was not an easy ride, but I had a good exit, and definitely I had a lot of failures as well. But yeah, in 2013, 14 is the time I fully become entrepreneur. I resigned from my the day job, and then I started on with another channel. First was definitely the Go There project. I was with them for almost 1 year. It really didn't pick off that well, but we able to get some sell it off and get some money. Then we started the Hanker project, which was a good success. So the idea of Hanker project was the idea came out when the Henkel released an abaya shampoo. You know the abaya, right? The dress they wear, the ladies wear in Dubai. And they released a specific shampoo for that called, and they want to target the ladies, especially wearing abaya. And they don't have that kind of data, like what geography they need to target, how do they need to target. So this is, and one of my friend was basically, he has a digital marketing company, and they came in, and then we got the idea of, instead of focusing on billboards, which is not a pure target, we decided to create, to talk to laundry and create a network, and then tell the laundry people, like, if any lady comes with an abaya, when you return the abaya, you just advertise on the hanger about the new shampoo and provide them a sample. So we basically turn the hangers into an advertisement platform,
Oh,
right?
that's fantastic. Yeah, that's great. So I get, you said something very interesting. I want to focus on it. What happens
Okay.
when you have a failure? How do you mentally transition yourself so you don't get into that negative loop? How do you do that to come to the next company?
So I mean, you cannot avoid the negative feelings. Keep on coming, right? It's natural. It's human. The negative thoughts is something is keep on coming. It's the strong belief that you have learned a lot of from that, and then you need to move forward, because it's the belief that you are an entrepreneur, you can do it. It's that belief system keeps you driving. So once you believe that you have the drive in you, and you know that you are able to do solve the problem, and you believe that you can build a huge company, a big company, that belief system is what actually drives me to out of that. If you don't have, so belief system is very powerful. Even in the religion side, if you look at it, like how the Islam, it's what they have the strong belief, and they took over the mightiest empires during that time, the world powers like the Persians and all that. So that belief system. So if you strongly believe that you're an entrepreneur, and it's in your DNA, and you want to be that, that's your dream, that's the way you go, then this kind of things, yeah, definitely is a painful, but you can overcome that. But you need to have this, strong belief system. And alhamdulillah, I have it.
Wow, that's great. So, one of the things, I went out one time with Andrew Struginsky. He's a right hand man of Rupert Murdoch. And
Okay.
Carl Page, Larry Page's brother, the founder of Google's brother, was at dinner with me.
Okay.
And we
Okay.
were in Palo Alto, California. And a friend of mine's an actor in Hollywood. We sat
Okay.
down at dinner. We had a
Okay.
couple of wines. And
Okay.
I was very curious because I remember that Rupert Murdoch had been married to this Chinese woman, and he got divorced, and he had some ups and downs. And I said to him, I said, like, it's interesting to me. I said, you said you studied 3,000 entrepreneurs. So Struginsky said, I've studied 3,000. I said, and then we talked about Murdoch with his divorce and, with this Chinese woman he is married to. I said, how does a guy like that not let it affect his life? And he looked at me and he said, well, Gary, I've looked at 3,000 of the top entrepreneurs in the world. I've interviewed them. I've spoken to them. And he said, there's one thing that I found each of them has in common. And I said, what was that? And what do you think it is? One thing that they have in common. What would it be?
The one thing they have in common
Yeah, the
is
most successful entrepreneurs in the world. What do they have in common? One piece, one characteristic.
it's the confidence. No.
No, surprisingly, it's amnesia. He said they never talk about the past. And I said, really? He said, because the past holds you back. And the older they get, the more risk averse you are. You can't let the past hold you back. You got to move forward in your life. And if you don't experience life to the fullest. And it was amazing because I'd never heard anything like that. But I know a couple of my friends are billionaires, and they say the same thing. It's they never ever talk about the past.
That's true. True.
It's like it didn't even happen. It's like unbelievable. It's, amnesia. So anyhow, so I want to talk about. Tell me a little bit about. We got about 6 minutes left. I want to talk about Spendwiser and what you're doing, and then some final comments and wrap up. So tell us a little bit about Spendwiser.
So once the market was open for fintech, it's a huge untapped market. You can see a lot of merchants. I'm talking about 70% merchants in Qatar. They don't have any mechanism to accept card payments. They still rely on cash, right? So the banks completely ignore them, saying that it's not profitable to serve them. So that's a huge opportunity we're tapping into. Because of that, there's a huge cash circulations in the market. So if I want to go to a grocery or a small shop, I have to go to an ATM first, withdraw the cash, because they won't accept credit cards, right? They don't have the mechanism. that's the huge opportunity we came in, because if I came to Qatar, let's say 3 to 4 years, I cannot operate. There's no regulation for fintech to operate. So they just recently started. So it's a brand new and top market for the fintechs to bring in financial and digital inclusion. So when we went deep down and started sitting with the merchants, talking to the merchants, we found that they face a lot of issues in terms of not being on the digital side. They spend a lot of money, the waste on digital marketing, right? So an example is like Horeca sector, this hotel, restaurants, and cafe. They spend a huge money on Instagram and Facebook just to post it, and they don't get any business for that. The conversion rate is less than 2%. This social media or this might work for other industries, but retail industry, especially Horeca sector, it's a lot of ways. They don't have kind of a marketing department or a marketing manager. They don't have that, so they struggle with us. And so we found another issue to solve. So what Sandvisa is doing, we are simply providing a powerful digital platform for the merchants to onboard them and then start accepting payment without the traditional machines or the process of going to the bank and submitting a lot of documents. No, all they had to do is sign a simple agreement with Spendvisor, and they can just download our Spendvisor mobile application POS and start accepting payment. Simple as that. We made it very easy to onboard. Now they're on the digital platform. What we did, we built on that platform a loyalty point system where the merchants don't have to invest on a separate standalone one. They can just activate it. And plus, now the payments are happening. We see the payment data. We turned that platform into a powerful marketing platform and told them that any money you spent on digital marketing, now give us a 50% of that and spend it on Spendvisor, and then we can give you 100% conversion. And we even told them, you already spent your marketing money after you see the sales, so 100%. So
Well,
that's how.
why wouldn't somebody want to do it?
Sorry.
Why wouldn't a company want to do it if it's 100%
Yeah,
conversion?
exactly. And at a very early stage, because of our business model, we cracked down a deal with Apple Middle East distributors, and during the iPhone 13, they engaged us to do the campaign. So they had an issue, right? So iPhones, when they come to Qatar and other markets, it's not available. So people come to Qatar and they buy the iPhone and they take it and create a gray market, which is very bad for the distributed network. So they want to make sure that any iPhone shipped to Qatar is activated, which means you open the box and activate it. And they tell, what can you do? So what we did, we signed an agreement with them. We created a huge campaign which told the consumers that you go and buy iPhone 13, open it up, activate it, and immediately you're going to get $200 as a cash, as hard cash. And this money basically is coming from the Apple or the marketing fund, right? The
Right.
money is supposed to go. So Facebook, they basically commoditize your attention. So how they sell to the marketers? They basically take your attention, they commoditize it, and then sell it to the marketers, saying that they know you better. But it's not effective. It's not that effective, right? So instead of you wasting complete your marketing fund, you can give us 50 to 60% of that, and then we can use our platform like cashback gold or something. We drive the consumers, we drive the business. Once you see it's happening, give that money to consumers directly. Now the consumer has the power to have that marketing money directly to them just by allowing us to look at the data. So this
Well,
is the solution we're doing right now.
that's fantastic. I mean, you're doing a great job. So what are you looking for now? Are you raising money or what's happening?
Yeah, exactly. So we are in the QCB sandbox, Qatar Central Bank sandbox, and we are planning to graduate from the sandbox in coming months. So and then we'll be planning to go full forward. So to take off and support our go-to-market strategies, increase the team, and capture majority market share, we are looking to write the seed round. We're looking almost 2 to 2.5 as a seed round, which will help us to take off once we graduate from the central bank center.
Yeah, so you hear that 2 to 2.5, an incredible company. I mean, they've got a tremendous background. The serial entrepreneur that's had a lot of success also understands the failures. So, closing thoughts, and how do people get a hold of you?
They can reach to LinkedIn, and definitely if they can go to Spendwise website, they can reach us. There's a place where they can enroll. And definitely they can reach to my email. It's Farouk@spendwiser.app. And through GSD as well, I'm a startup in GSD, accelerator startup. So yeah, through GSD as well, they can reach me definitely.
That's fantastic. Thank you for taking your time out of your busy schedule. Thank to Hasmik and the entire La Token VCTVT for making the Founders Report with Gary Fowler possible. I'll be back in another 2 weeks for another exciting edition. Stay happy, stay safe, and stay healthy. Take care of yourself.
Thank
Love,
you.
hugs, and empathy for people around the world. Let's go get
Thanks,
shit.
Gary. Thanks for having